Hey, Trailblazers, it's Leah Regatz. Today, we're talking about strategic social media marketing to increase revenue and reduce overwhelm with Brandy Rode. Brandy, welcome to the show. We're excited to have you. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience and let them know what you're all about?
Thank you, Leah. I'm so excited to be here. So my name's Brandy, and I am a social media manager and marketer. Um, I help businesses grow their business online. I find that starting a business is overwhelming as it is, and trying to uncover all the secrets on social media at the beginning while we're trying to be on the business side is very overwhelming. So I'm here to help you sort of make social media easy and exciting again so that you can grow your business to your audience.
I love that. So, how did you get started with all this?
That is a really funny story. And I'm actually really glad that you asked that. So I'm a really competitive person and I love sports and all the things. So in COVID, and I know that we don't like to talk about it, but it is where my story starts. I had another business that was very successful and I loved it. And I did exterior paint on vehicles, actually, if you can believe it. So a bit of an auto body girl. And
Very cool.
during that time in our lives, that I lost the company, basically couldn't work outside of
Mm,
the house. I
right.
dealerships were shutting down, car sales were down. We went from doing 4,000 vehicles a month to probably four. So it just was crucial. So
Wow.
I thought, I'm going to start working out on camera, letting people know I love spin class. So I thought I'm just going to spin online. And I met somebody that was a Beachbody coach, if you've ever heard of one of
Nope.
those. Okay. So she kind of brought me on and she was showing me the tricks and the trades of being able to be on social media with coaching. So
Mhm,
I thought, wow, this is great. It's exactly what I love to do.
mhm,
I absolutely love being able to share this, especially on a healthy journey at that point in my life, because I think we all sort of needed it. We were all looking for something. So I went on social media and I found this woman, and she was crushing it on social media and
mhm,
showing us that she was selling and doing all these things and had all these products that she was giving away for free. And I just kept looking at this thinking, like, how is she doing this? Like, how is she doing it? Well, it turns out within my beach body coaching and me being on social media and new on the platforms at that time,
mhm,
I realized she wasn't. So I was like, wow, well, if she's not, and I'm believing that she is, I got to
mhm,
research this. Like, what are the algorithms? What's happening here? What's
mhm,
inside? What's beneath of all of the things that are going on? Because how in my authentic self can I actually be showing people that I am doing it? So
mhm,
I started off doing that. And so it started off just wanting to beat her, wanting to be better than her, wanting to sell more, to be more, to show up more.
mhm,
So instead of doing that, I got really focused on the inside of social media and I started really enjoying the numbers and what was behind where the your analytics were and what it actually all meant. So from there, I had a few friends that had their own businesses and I said, "You know
mhm,
what? You should just let me see if I can let me just try this. I just want to take
mhm,
over. Give me a couple months. Let's see what we can do." And I blew the doors down. And my friends were like, "Kate, you've got to do this. Like, this is fantastic." So I did. I put a business plan together and my mantra is always like, how hard can it be? Right. So you're you're the yes man. So I
mhm,
became the yes man. People asked me if I could do things. I had
mhm,
no idea how to do them, but I was like, yeah, absolutely, I can do that. And then I'd be up till 4 o'clock in the morning, figuring it out, doing it, and then putting it into my business plan or my proposal for the next business to approach within that
mhm,
time. So
yeah.
long story short, I guess I just sort of fell into it, but created something that was super fun and that
Mhm,
is so useful for businesses to realize that so much of the stuff that we see isn't exactly what's happening. So
mhm.
I take your actual business plan, I give you the strategies and the consistency that you need on social media, and I show you how to make it work.
I love that. So, what do you feel like small business owners and entrepreneurs, what are they struggling with the most when it comes to their social media presence?
I think in my personal opinion, I think that it is strategy. Like I think everybody has an idea, but it's overwhelm and not knowing how to actually put the pieces together. The one thing that I always hear people say is, I don't know what to post. I don't know, like, what should I be posting? But if you look back at your analytics and what your audience is actually listening to, you have so much content, you probably don't even know what to do with it all. There's so many different channels. Are you utilizing the channel that you're on correctly? Or do you feel that you just have to keep shoving people with posts all the time? At this stage where we are, and with as many of us doing it, the last thing we want to know is how many coffees you've had in a day. I don't care. So it's staying consistent to strategy, not staying consistent online by any means.
So how do we create that strategy? Like, what's a really good strategy that we should be following?
Well, I think it starts by doing pillars, or some of my beginner social media strategists are, I start them off with just a theme, a month theme. What's your theme this month? Let's break this down, because I find that when you say, oh, let's start a strategy, well, they think of like 15 different things that they have to put up, and they're like, well, I want them to know this, and I want them to know that, and I want them to do this, and I want them to join this. But realistically, when we bring it down and we just create a theme for that month, let's focus on how we can introduce that particular theme and keep those posts relatable to that. Then you can pillar it out and we can break that strategy down. But at the base standard, we just want to create a theme per month of what we're going to focus on and just keep that going.
I like that. So what are some of your proudest moments or biggest successes you've had working with your clients?
My proudest moments, actually, it was just recently, and I have a client that is so much fun. I swear she brings the best out in me sometimes. So, I always say to her, like, I'm not perfect, and I'm not here to pretend that I am or the most professional. There's a lot of us, and there are so many good people out there. But at the same time, I think what makes it different for me and working with this particular client is that if I don't know something, I'm going to figure it out with you. So we're going to figure it out. We're going to find it. We're going to do it. And we are absolutely going to crush it. So I had her go up in one particular platform by 380% of last year. So that was a really good pat on the back for me. And she's just incredible to work with. I think my best moments with working with my clients is going from that working relationship to being a part of your team and becoming your friend, because I'm not here to just do business for you. Corporate's not necessarily my thing. I'll be honest with you, because I really like the relationships and being able to share, like, her excitement is my excitement. Like, growing her is like growing my own business. So that's my favorite part.
Oh, I love that. That's so cool. So what would be one piece of advice for all of the business owners who are listening today? What should they focus on, or what piece of advice would you have for them in social media?
I think I would just be, all right, my advice would be to just calm down for a half an hour, grab your journal or a notebook, take a look at your analytics first, because the biggest thing that I tell everybody that I work with is what we want to tell our audience is not necessarily what our audience needs to hear. It's not what they're wanting. So we want to share all these great, fabulous things with them, but to them, they might not understand what these great, fabulous things are. So check your analytics, find out what your top posts are, your top platforms are, and work with that and pick a theme each month, and then just strategize from there.
I like that. I like it. So I'm curious, as you're out there serving people as a social media manager, and now I think you really kind of shifting gears in some ways and coaching people and teaching people how to do this for themselves and their businesses. How are you connecting with and finding new folks to work with?
A lot of it is word of mouth. I've got a really great email list, so I do have that. I actually like the platform LinkedIn. I know I shouldn't probably boo-hoo that or have a favorite over the other ones, but I am a little bit on that more business savvy kind of side. Instagram is fun, but I find it a lot like a resume. And I do like Facebook because I find that's where your community is. So I do like that. But I think a lot of it is just being real, just being who I am, showing up every single day. And instead of trying to sell them something, I try to serve them instead.
I love that. That's very cool. So what are your next steps? Where do you want to grow from here?
Well, I just launched a coaching program. It's called
Mhm.
Coaching 2.0. And I would love to just raise that to be a really successful community. I've got some
Mhm.
great ideas in there. The base of this coaching program is I find that I can grab little bits of YouTube, I can grab little pieces of coaching advice here, I can grab little bits of stuff from anywhere that I want.
Mhm.
Realistically, we can search and create and do anything that we want. But
Mhm.
in this program, you have me on your team. So the difference between this is we share a platform together. If you have any questions, it goes straight to my cell phone. You can ask me anything, and I'm there to cheer you on. So
Mhm.
instead of taking all this information from every area that we have access to, is you have it's totally okay for you to watch a YouTube video, go, hey, Brandy, I saw this on YouTube. What do you think? And I will give
Mhm.
you my opinion. So I think when I first started, from grabbing all the information and being creative and getting to be where I am today, that's fantastic. But the one thing I didn't have is a little cheerleader or somebody in my corner to be able to either push me forward, watch me grow, give me that like on Instagram, that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. So that's sort of where I can take the marketing side of things, take the
Mhm.
overwhelm away, help you create your strategy, but be on your team.
I love that. So I think there's a lot of people who need this. There's so many folks that we run into every single day and they don't have a strategy or plan for social. They're just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what
Right.
sticks. Yeah.
Yes.
And they can get very overwhelmed and bogged down with the busyness that they can create for themselves in doing so. So I think this is a great offer. I think there's a lot of people who need it. I would encourage you to really dial in your sales system and process and then to get into some paid ads
Yes.
because just reaching more people and making a
Right.
bigger impact because there's so many folks that need this today.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome. I love that. So if people want to learn about you, where should they head?
Well, I have a website. It's successonsocialmarketing.com. And in there, to be part of this show, I do have a free giveaway. And you can click on it, I'm sure, after here in the
Mhm.
notes, and check out the website for Coaching 2.0.
Thank you. And give us a little bit more context on what the freebie is.
So the freebie is sort of where I started. So you get a little bit of
Mhm.
my story and how I'm going to direct you and guide you and where we're going to start with you, because you're not all the same. It has to be
Yeah.
what works best for you, right? So that's where
Mhm.
we start. So it is my social media guide and where we are going to start together, where you are most comfortable, and then break the doors down of where we're going to get you to go.
That's awesome. We'll have, yes, the links to all of that in the show notes and description. Brandy, this has been a great conversation. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. I was love to be on your show, Leah. Thanks so much for the invite.
You're very welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, if you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who could benefit. And if you're curious about how to be featured on one of our podcasts, head to those shows.